recording. A few things before I jump into the content tonight. We have some recognition, some people with Success Club points. Lindsay has Success Club points. Gabby has Success Club points. Brandy has Success Club points. Ariel has Success Club points. Gilbert has Success Club points, and Gilbert signed with a new coach, so that's awesome. Way to go, you guys. We're not even halfway through the month. If you have no Success Club points, don't even worry about it. You still have more than half the month. Last month, I had 2 Success Club points until literally like December 28th, and then I hit Success Club in the last week of the month. So don't worry about it. Just be consistent. Your consistency pays off. I'm going to share some organizational tips and tools, and that will actually help you with some of the Success Club points or some of the things I'm talking about. A few other things. You may have seen some coaches start to post about it. Of course, Cafe Latte out yesterday.
Food is hard for a rat to find. It wouldn't be so hard to find if you weren't so.
Okay, got that done. Cafe Latte Shakeology came out, not yesterday, Monday. Please remember, it doesn't actually have coffee in it. It has the coffee bean fruit, and it doesn't have any more caffeine than every other version of Shakeology, every other flavor. And that comes out to like a cup of green tea, a little bit less than a cup of decaf coffee. So it's really a good option for people that like that flavor of coffee, want to be healthier, or people that like that flavor of coffee but can't actually do coffee. So just keep those things in mind. The other thing is the Success Club 2017 trip registration has opened for Elite and Success Club Legend coaches. The rest of us, so everyone but Ariel, we can register on the 19th. Don't be surprised if when you go to register, you're already on the wait list. Get on there. You still want to get on there on the 19th and get on. Coaches will find out they can't go opening up 2 waves this year. There may be a good chance that when you sign up on the 19th, there are still spots open. There will be the $300 deposit that's due when you sign up. So do look to that, and then you'll make quarterly payments. But if you guys are hitting Success Club every single month, your trip is going to be paid for. So if you make that goal right now in 2016 that you're going to hit Success Club every month, then you're going to have your room paid for up to a certain extent. The bigger rooms aren't. But Ariel, did you have something to add?
I did. If you guys are going to be registering, I would check your online office. The Punta Cana website. I think it's like puntacana2017.com, and look at the facts, and then look at the room descriptions, because there are some that will allow children less than 4 for free, but then some rooms don't have. Like I didn't realize there were so many descriptions, so you just should probably look and pick like your top 3 choices. That way, when you do go to register, if your first choice isn't done, you kind of already have it, and then you don't have to kind of waste your time, because there are a lot of choices. So just a tip.
Yeah, and some of the other things too for you guys to know, the Fit Addicted team has kind of chosen the Coral Wave to go to, which is the second one. Don't feel like you have to go to that wave if it doesn't work for you. No big deal. You're going to be surrounded by Beachbody coaches, trainers. You're still going to get everything on each wave. But I know a lot of the people in our direct downline have registered for the Coral Wave if you want to try to join that. So we're going to hop into the meat of our call tonight. I have to tell you guys, I'm in a really good mood because it was payday in my house today, so I got to pay bills. So that always sets me up for a great Wednesday. But anyway, the second thing is, if I start to sound like I'm out of breath, the position this baby is in tends to push on my lungs. So if I'm suddenly it's my normal life right now. So here is a forewarning to this training. I am incredibly anally organized. The purpose of this training is not to tell you guys that you have to be me. My personality, my life, the way we do things, I just have to be organized. I have a list, I have a schedule for everything. My poor children, I feel sorry for them. But I want to share with you some of the things that I do, because this is the way my brain works and this is how I work. I'm going to share some things with you that I've heard from other coaches. Do not feel like you have to do every single thing I'm going to tell you tonight. But if you can take one thing away from this training, then it's a benefit. And I want you guys to really approach every training like that. You don't have to do everything you hear another coach say. But if you find one little nugget of information that helps you in your business, then that's going to help move you forward. We're all about duplication. We're all about making things easier. So if there's something that someone else is doing that you could do to make your life easier, then snap onto it and do it. So I'm going to kind of go over two different scenarios here. I'm going to go over paper organization tools, and then I'm also going to screen share and show you some of my electronic organizational tools. So we will get started. I do have to tell you, no matter how unorganized you think you are, you have to have some type of organization in this business. No, you do not have to be me. But if you don't have a way to track and follow up with people and know who you've talked to, know who's interested, you're going to really, really struggle in this business. I personally know I'm very poor at follow-up, and that is one of my goals for 2016, is to really hone in on my follow-up skills. Now, you can constantly tweak your system. I have tried a variety of systems. The way I'm currently running my business right now is the best I feel about things. And I use a combination of paper and electronic because that's what works for me. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you to do is to devise a to-do list. For me personally, I run a master to-do list that I have developed electronically that I keep in my OneDrive storage, which I'm going to show you guys later actually. But I have everything in there that I need to accomplish in a day in my business. So personal development, I have my invite target, business opportunities, my network adding, forming people, touching, base with people, my workout Shakeology, my thank you notes that I check and send. I check my sponsorship drill down every day. And then I differentiate for other days. So like Mondays, I have the National Wake Up Call on there. Today, I have Janelle's team call on there, and I have our team call on there. I always want to post in my team page something daily, and so I have those things on there. So you can make a to-do list however you want. You don't have to have a master to-do list like I do. If you don't do a master to-do list, you need to take the time every night before the next day or early in the morning, and you need to write out what you're going to do for your business and for your personal life every day, and you need to work from that list. A caution though, do not write down every single little itty bitty thing that you need to do in your day just so you can check something off. Research has shown you can waste up to 15 minutes in a day just checking off items you know you're going to get done. So I'm not going to put on there, go to work. I know I'm going to work every day, right? Not going to do that. But those other things that I need to make sure and check in my business, I am going to get done. So like right now I have savers on my to-do list, my Miracle Morning Routine. Within another month, I'll be taking that off my to-do list. Archer, you're going to have to go get it. I'm going to take that off my to-do list because it's an ingrained habit. So I don't need to waste the time to check that off every day and have my to-do list look longer than it is. Okay, you need to... Okay, so to-do list is the first thing you need to do. The second thing that I do is I have a monthly calendar, and I plan out a daily post topic. The reason why I do this is because I have my 5 to 7 interest items that I'm going to talk about, and I want to make sure I'm not just sharing a recipe a whole week straight. I want to vary my interests because people follow me for different reasons. Some people follow me because I'm a mom. Some people follow me because I cook at home. Some people follow me for financial advice. So you need to look at those things that people ask you for help with or advice on. Archer, no. And you need to make sure that's content you're providing. I purchased a passion planner this year. And I am loving it. One of the reasons I love it is because it has a monthly calendar view, and then it has a weekly view for me too. So I'm going to show you guys. I know you can't see it very clearly, but like this is my monthly calendar. I know you can't see my writing on there. I just took my list of items. I have a certain day that I am always doing a recipe collector that happens to be Wednesdays. So I just went through and every Wednesday I'm writing down a recipe because I know I'm collecting emails on Wednesdays. But then the rest of the days I'm scheduling my hooks. So what days I'm going to be putting up a hook post. And then I know the rest of the days I'm doing jabs. And then I filled in my content for those other days. So I rotate through family, motivation, fitness moves, finance, recipes. Let me think here. Organization, because that's something else I get asked about. And I just share a post on that on those days. That takes care of one post for me, and then I know my content is being varied. What else do I include in my monthly calendar? My workout schedule, so that I can look and I know what I'm doing, because that's also something I share about. That's another post for me for the day. I also share my personal development. So I generally track how long a book is going to take me because I'm reading 10 pages a day. I'm not going to miss that. So I know when I'm going to start my next book, and that way I have something planned out and ahead of time. I'm not failing on my personal development. There's no gap in between. I'm moving on to the next thing, and I'm really kind of thinking about it. I know by the beginning of February I need to have another book picked out. And I'm thinking about where do I want my business to go? What am I struggling with? So that way I can get going with my next book. The other thing that this does for me is it holds me accountable. Because if I wrote down I'm starting another book in the beginning of February, I better make sure I get my 10 pages in every day to meet that deadline. So that just for me is a personal accountability. I also put in my monthly calendar people that gave me a specific order date. So you know how that goes. You've talked to someone, they've said, yeah, next Friday on payday, I can order the challenge pack. So I take these little garage sale stickers because they're bright, they're blank, and they're small. As you can see, it's like the size of my finger. I peel one off. I put it on that date, either on the monthly calendar or in the weekly view, and I write that person's name down. And I know that that means I need to check with that person. I usually do it 2 days after the date they told me, so that then on that day I can just say, I can look. If their order hasn't come through, I shoot them a message and say, hey, I know we had talked about your order coming through. I just wanted to check and see if you had time to do that, and I missed it, or if you were still able to order it this week. It's no big deal. It's no pressure. I'm just following up with them. So I include that on there. The other thing that I include with my monthly calendar is my hot list. So this is the new thing I am doing for my follow-up. So this is all the people in the month that I have talked to that have given me like a very firm interest or have straight told me they are going to order. So I just write their name down on my hot list, I clip it in my calendar, and I have it. I use highlighting a lot to help me keep myself on track. So once they've ordered, I highlight them on the list. If I have followed up with them because they have given me a specific date and suddenly they can't do it, I cross them off, but I move them to whatever month I'm going to follow up with. So every single month in my Passion Planner, I have lists of names going for when I'm following up those people. With those people. And then, you know, as that month comes up, that's just part of my follow-up list and my invite list. The other thing I do is in my calendar, I have scheduled all of my groups and all of my coaching events, and I aim to have something to invite people to every single week. So I never am at a loss for what my hook is going to look like. And because I have a like page, I know what my ad is going to look like for that week. So I know what I need to develop. I know what story I need to work on. It gives me a lot of time to be very thoughtful and purposeful in my content. It's not something I'm just making up on the fly and saying, oh, it's Sunday, I have to post a hook. More than likely, I've been thinking about my Sunday post for at least 4 or 5 days and possibly finding pictures to go with it or things like that. But since I know when all my groups are coming, on my hot list on the other side, I also include people that have said, yes, I'm going to order this month, or I hope to order this month, but didn't give me a specific date, but they've already told me they're going to order, so I don't want to bug them, but I know by 3 days before my group is going to start, I want to send them a message that says, hey, my group starts in 3 days. I just wanted to see if you still wanted to be a part of it. And I move those people to that list so I know to follow up with them before my group starts. So I hope that makes sense, you guys. The other thing that I schedule on paper in my calendar are my business hours. If you don't know when you're going to work this business, you will find you don't work it in a day. This actually happened to me yesterday. If you were in our new business group, yesterday was a big fat show for me. Like, I did not have my business scheduled yesterday. Tuesdays are traditionally rough days for me. And I did not take the time on Monday to really look at my schedule and schedule it out. So I literally did like 4 business activities yesterday, and that was it. Yes, I do typically take off 1 day in a month, but during wrestling season, that 1 day in a month is the day my kids are wrestling. So yesterday was a very hard day for me to not get anything done because that wasn't a scheduled off day for me. So that was a wasted day, and I just don't operate well with that. But my business time includes when I'm getting my Miracle Morning done, when I'm getting my workout in, and when I'm finishing the rest of my business time in. For me personally, the place my business is in right now is I need to work my business 2 hours a day. I can get my essential activities done in an hour, but all those extra things that I do as far as recruiting or ads or working with my team or the extra groups that I run or participate in, I need that extra time. So I'm scheduling out those 2 hours in my day. You have to know what your limits are. If you only have 10 hours in a week to work your business or 7 hours in a week, then you need to make sure you're purposefully planning that time so it is the most effective. Maybe you don't have an hour at a time. Maybe you have 30 minutes at a time. Whatever it may be, you need to plan it because that is your business meeting with yourself. And if you want your business to move forward, you need to stick to that time. You cannot schedule lunch over it, cannot schedule a nail appointment over it. You can't decide you're going to sleep in if you put it in the morning. And, to be honest, you can't sit and watch TV with your family during that time if you are distracted by those things. I can usually work during TV time because I'm easy to block out. But if you can't, if you know your messages aren't as good, if you're missing things on your follow-up, you need to make sure you have that time. Maybe it's earlier, maybe it's later after your family goes to bed, maybe it's at your lunch, whatever it may be. But you need to plan your business time and know when you're going to be most effective. Let me see. And put your chats on your schedule, like our Zoom chats, your team calls, whatever you're going to make in a day. Make sure you get those on your schedule so you're not missing them. Or like Janelle's team call, I can't always get on there live depending on what my teaching schedule looks like, but I have that on the Thursday or Wednesdays, so I know sometime in Wednesday I'm going to catch the recording. So that way you're not missing anything if it's important to you. So that is my paper organization, majority of it. So now I'm going to screen share with you guys. I'm going to show you a lot of my online organization. So, hold on. Okay. You have 2 different options. Well, that I know of, I should say. Ariel tends to use Google Docs. I don't have Google Docs connected to my email. I use OneDrive because I have a Hotmail account. Microsoft accounts use OneDrive. So the reason why I suggest you get involved in something like this is because I can access my OneDrive anywhere. So if I have 20 minutes at work that I can work, I can pull up my OneDrive. It has my tracking on there. It has all of my templates on there, and it just makes my life a little bit easier. I can also access it from my phone because it has an app. You can do the same with your Google Docs. So some of the things I keep on my OneDrive, and this is my OneDrive. My computer is frozen. You can put files in here. You can do individual templates. So I'm scrolling up. These are my different files, you guys. I keep trainings in here. I keep whatever group I'm running. I keep those templates in there because if I forget to post in the morning at home, then if I get to work, because sometimes this happens, and I remembered, oh yeah, I'm running a free group, or if I'm splitting a group with someone and I'm posting in the afternoon so I'm not at home, then I can just pull it up at work at lunch and dump it in there. So you have that, and you can put whatever you want in here. As you can see, I have Excel sheets in here, Microsoft Word sheets in here. What I'm going to do for you guys tomorrow is one of the coaches in our Fit Addicted downline 2 years ago, she did a training on Google Docs and how she uses it for her business. So I'm also going to post that training for you guys. But I want to show you a few things to help you with your organization. So what you need to start looking at in your business is the questions that you answer all the time. So some of the things we always get and we talk about are the different products. We talk about what Shakeology is. We usually talk to people in the same kind of general content when they comment on our posts, like, hey, were you interested in the accountability group that I was talking about? Things like that. So if you notice that you're writing the same scripts over and over or the same general content over and over, you need to make a template for it so that you can just copy, modify it as you need to, but then you need to paste it in a message. So here's one of the things that I have is the product templates. So these are the common products that I talk about, but it's related to me and my story. So when I talk about 21 Day Fix, I talk about what the program is, and the nutrition plan really helped me. Same with PiYo. It really helped me with my core after a baby. So that's something I talk about. 21 Day Fix Extreme is my soulmate workout. So I talk about that. Shakeology. Why Shakeology hooked me, why I still use it today. I mean, I have these templates right in here. So as I'm telling people about the product, I just copy and paste. This is, of course, after I've asked questions, after I found out their goals, and after I'm making an appropriate recommendation. So I keep that in my OneDrive so I can access it anywhere. The next thing that I have is my variety of posts that I can comment to people who have commented on my posts. So I have one for people that have liked my fitness page. I have one about my accountability group. I have different questions that I'm asked, things like that. When people ask what my groups actually are, I have something for that that's just quick and fun and easy, and I can just copy and paste and drop it in the message. It saves me time. It helps me be more efficient. So I have those. I send out an email to all of my new leads, but I keep the same email and I just customize it to them. So I keep that in my OneDrive because then I just copy, paste it in an email, and I'm ready to go. I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. The other thing that I have is my tracking book. So I do keep my hot list, like I said, is where I'm concentrating on my follow-up. But I also have in here, this is my daily Power of Threes. I used to keep the Power of Threes strictly on paper. If that works for you, then do that. What I'm going to tell you, though, is if you put your Power of Threes on paper, you need to then put it in a binder because that has all your names on it and it has who you've talked to. For me, I was getting a very thick binder, so I needed to move to my Excel sheet. So my Excel sheet, what I have over here is my targets. Like I know I do it a week at a time. I have the week date in there, there's different days, and then I put down who I've added through my network and where I've added them typically. The people that I've talked to on my like page that I couldn't friend or I didn't want to friend request. People that I've invited, the business opportunity and where I'm inviting them from. The follow-ups, again, I color code things. So once someone expressed an interest to me, I put them in yellow. Once they've ordered, they're green. If they're a follow-up for a later month, I put them in red and what month. And then if they have a coach, I put them in blue so that I don't contact them anymore. But as you can see, like I just go down. On the bottom over here, I separate it out. I've started to separate it out into months because that's what makes it easier for me. And then I can go back to those people later. Another thing I'm doing is keeping my ongoing interested list. So these are people who have said they're interested, and I have the date of the last time I talked to them. And this is going to be when you feel like your pool has run dry and you have no one else to talk to. I go back to my previously interested list and I see who I want to form with again, check in on, like on some of their comments or some of their posts and comment on them so that my stuff is popping back up in their newsfeed. And I will eventually reach out to them if they don't reach out to me. And same with coaches. Someone that has expressed an interest to me in coaching, I'm putting them on this list. I actually have to convert all of my paper from the past 2 years onto these lists. So it looks a little meager right now. I'm telling you, it's not that bleak in my life. But those are some of the things that I put in my on my electronic version. Let's see. I think that is it as far as what I wanted to share. Comments. Oh, the other thing that I do electronically, and I have shared this with some of you guys before, if I see a post that either I do and it gets a great response, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, I save that wording and I put it in a document for another time I need an idea or I'm stuck or if I want to try that same tactic again. I also do that with posts I see from other coaches. I don't want you to copy a coach's post word for word, but take their content, save it, and then you make it your own. So maybe you make it around your story, but the wording is still the same. Or maybe you really liked the hook line that they used. Or maybe it's just an idea that you want to develop for your own. So I save those, and I do the same in accountability groups, especially if I run them with someone else. Now, Ariel makes it hard because she does videos, so I can't like steal her post wording and make my life easier. But if she has a video that I love and that people commented on, I make a quick note in my post for future groups. Like Ariel really talked about taking bites of everything. I want to talk about that in my next group or things like that. I'm sorry if you can hear Archer howl. He can imitate any single sound in the world and he imitates the dogs perfectly. So I'm sorry. Anyway, so I save those things that are going to make my life easier later. So Archer, please stop. So do you guys have any questions? We probably have about 10 minutes, so I want to open it up for any questions on organization or anything else in your business that you have a question on this week.
I have a question. Can you give me like just a quick example of a good jab or a good hook? I'm having just, I don't know if I'm doing it efficiently.
Okay, you jab all the time, so I'm surprised that you think that. Like your workout posts are a jab. Talking about your healthy meals that you're making, like your meal prep, is a jab. Or here's a new great recipe that I got from the Fix8 cookbook, or that's on my nutrition guide, or I lost 13 inches in the week. Whatever, those are all jabs because you're not having a call to action. So you want to make sure your jabs are varied though between the coaching opportunity and your challenge groups. So especially at first, Archer, please stop. Especially at first, your coaching jabs might just be like one thing a week. Actually, Brandy posted an amazing coaching jab today. Archer, that is enough. She posted how all of her groceries were paid for this week thanks to Beachbody. She didn't say, would you like to be invited to our event on the 17th? Like, she didn't say anything like that. She just drew people's interest. So now someone's going to say, what? You paid for all your groceries with this coach business? Archer, that is enough. They're going to see I'm a bad mommy in a minute. So she just piqued people's interest. You're piquing people's interest by showing the workout moves in your program, by showing that your husband does it with you or that your kids do it with you. Those are all jabs. Does that make sense, Gabby? Any other questions? Ariel, did you have anything you want to add? I'm sorry, you guys.
You're fine. You're fine. The one thing, I think this was amazing, great. I wrote a ton of notes. The one thing I hope that this kind of shared or gave you information about is, even if you're a newer coach, even if you've only been doing this for a short period of time, if you don't have a system in place for the follow-up, for the tracking, you're going to forget about all these people. Somebody else is going to contact them, or they're just going to go to beachbody.com and they're going to order something. So you constantly have to be making sure that you are running your business. And that means that you have a list of people. That means that you are organizing it, that you're following up with those people. I mean, I cannot tell you how I'm still kind of disorganized. I am not as organized as Kara, but in the beginning, I mean, I did everything by paper and I was losing papers all the time. I had totally forgotten about people. I never checked my online office. I mean, like, even as a diamond coach, I was absolutely terrible. And I really lost out on many different coaches that I could have signed, new customers, because I wasn't efficient and I wasn't doing these things. And you can start really small. You can, create something online, or have a notebook like Kara mentioned. It's just figuring out what's going to work for you. You're probably going to go through a couple of different things, but this is why we tell you guys these things, because we've done them ourselves and we really like them. So try what we're suggesting. If you don't like it, go on to something else.
Yeah, definitely. And don't be afraid to find what works for you. Like for me, I'm finding a combination of paper and electronic works because I prefer the paper as far as my scheduling and knowing what I'm doing and checking off on my to-do list, and I can add to it. Some people work exclusively online electronically with their tracking system, but you do have to have something. And another thing too, you guys, is we can share anything with you that we have. Like I can share my templates or my general posts that I talk to people about products with, but you have to make sure you make it your own. Same with, I can give you my challenge group template, but it has to be your own wording. You have to change things to do them on your own, or else people can tell it's not, stop it. It is not your natural talking. It's not how you were talking to them in the message before. So you always want to make sure you're really being you and being authentic on your cut and paste and drop, save your lifesavers. Anything, there was another thing I was going to tell you guys. So I try to do a lot of trainings, also just things from different coaches. I save everything in spiral bound notebooks, and I just keep those because then I look back on them on sometimes that I'm struggling, or if there's really good content to share, I take notes because that's how I'm a learner. And I keep those and look back on them. So that's another organizational tool that I use. Any other questions, either about organization or about your business that anybody has? We got a little less than 5 minutes. And I am giving Archer away at the end of this call. So if you don't ask a question, you go into the drawing for Archer. So Gabby, you're safe. Ariel, you're safe. You guys are all up.
He's saying goodbye. That's awesome. Thanks, Kara.
Quick question, Kara. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, this is Brandy, and thank you for the compliment. I was really excited about that job, and really pleased that I was able to actually purchase everything with my Beachbody money.
Yeah.
So the quick question that I had was, I'm having a really hard time talking to people about coaching because for me, I'm really passionate about Beachbody. I've used it for so long that, that's a natural thing for me. But talking about coaching has been a real struggle. So can you kind of give me an idea of what are some really good ways to approach that subject with people that may not necessarily see that as an option?
Yeah, so your struggle is a common one. I think for majority of people, talking about coaching is their biggest struggle. There's three different things I'm going to suggest. Archer, stop. The first is start looking up some different trainings. Wherever you find a weakness in your business, that's where you need to do personal development on. There are a ton of YouTube videos out there from coaches. about how to talk to people about the business. Janelle just did one last week also on how to talk to people about the business opportunity. So from there, there's 3 ways you can go. 1, start talking to your challengers, and you can strictly introduce it from a discount perspective. Like, your Shakeology is going to be shipped again in another week. If you would like to talk about how to get 25% off on this, let's talk about that. You become my preferred customer, and you've already ordered a challenge pack or whatever it may be, so your sign-up fee is going to be waived. That's one way you can do it. Second way you can do it is start to post more hooks about coaching. So as you can see on my page, okay, that's it. No more. You can run an ad for a coaching event, or not an ad if you don't have a like page. Just post about it on your personal page. We have a coaching event coming up. Are you interested in it? Here's how it's changed my life. So you can start doing hooks. Those take a little bit more time to get going, but the more you do them and the more you're consistent with your jabs and your hooks, the more you're going to get people interested. The third thing that you can do is go through your list of 100 that you should have created when you were a coach. You also want to go and make your ideal teammate list, your ideal coach list. So it's all those people, your friends or your family, that you just love, whether they are into fitness or not, that you know would be good coaches and that you would love to work with on your team. Then you start to approach those people and you just tell them from your heart, I really think you would be a good coach, or I really would like to have you on my team, and here is why. People are not going to be offended, and they're not going to think you're salesy when you're approaching them from that perspective. You're just speaking from your heart. Some people are going to say, no, it's not for me, but at least you've planted the seed. Other people will say, oh, I haven't really thought about that, but tell me a little bit more, and they may take a while to sign up. And some people will say, okay, like, I trust what you're saying. Tell me more about this. Let's do it. Coaching takes a while, but I'm going to tell you, the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with it. Record your story so that you can practice that and have that going and share that with people. And just be bold and put yourself out there. That's really the biggest part of it, is you just have to do it. You're going to learn that didn't work, or this did work, or I need to change this, whatever that may be. But you just got to do it. Stop it. Now Brandy's out for Archer. She already has 6 kids, so she knows she doesn't need another one. Any other questions? We have just a few seconds. Okay, I will get this recording done and I will post it